First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Rakakadash. I want to give double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who will teach all sound doctrine, and peace and blessings to your elect. As you can see, just gonna let this video play and then get one precept and then close it out. Just gonna be fairly quick because I'm doing something after this as well. But the spirit had it where the spirit had it where I just came across this video and then I decided to just play it and then get a precept to close out. But you can already see from the title, you're already seeing uproars of the people because they really annoyed or vexed or aggravated, whatever you want to say, at what's going on. So they're saying, hold on a minute, we've been listening to you guys for this long, but here it is, it hasn't really got us nowhere. So their mindset is kind of gearing towards what it needs to be for Jacob's trouble, because we know the time of Jacob's trouble, they're not going to, and even the times approaching that, they're not going to regard their kings or princes, man. So we're seeing a little preview. We're seeing things ultimately gear, or Salakia, things ultimately go in the right direction.
Police have been dismantling protest camps in the capital, Colombo. They were occupied by groups demonstrating against the economic crisis and the appointment of Ranil Wickremesinghe as the new president. He swore his oath of office on Thursday. Our South Asia regional editor, Ambarasan Etirajan, has the latest.
Hundreds of Sri Lankan soldiers have been deployed here in Gold-Face Green. This was an active protest site about 24 hours ago. Early in the morning, the soldiers came in and they cleared all the makeshift tents, the banners and tables and chairs from this protest site, and they were moved away. And I can see another barrier about 100 meters from where I am now, and people have been stopped. The protesters have been pushed to the designated area where they can protest.
Designated areas. So, in this, this is showing Sri Lanka, it looks like they've been taking up, the military has been taking more means to control the citizens. And we know that even if it cools down, it's only going to get worse and worse ultimately as time goes on, because we can already see that there isn't that much time left. Like, this is the year. This could be the year, man. 2022. The year turning up, man.
And the soldiers also took control of the president's office, the secretariat, and this was stormed by huge crowds last week, about 10 days ago. And the protesters, they had said they would hand over this building to the government this afternoon. But then this operation came early in the morning, and I saw soldiers coming from two different directions and then forcing the protesters as well as journalists away from here.
You can actually take that as a dual meaning as well, because it said the soldiers were coming out both directions. No, you can think about that in a certain way. Hey, they're gonna come at us from every direction when in that time, because Isaiah 59:19 says, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against them. So, these troops, these soldiers, of course, they're, being mobilized or being used right now, but they're not being used to, the extent that they will be. But, we can see that they're having I'm not sure of the word, more presence, I should say. But, we know that it's going to become more and more as time goes forward. Because the closer we get to Jacob's trouble, the more draconian it's going to be. Because Jacob's trouble ain't going to be a nice time, man. It's going to be a horrific time. That's why, we pray the Lord have mercy on us, and we pray the Lord, protects us in that day, man. Because it's not going to be any games. We talk about the worst time in, that has ever been.
And now I see a number of military vehicles, police water cannon and car and the vans, and heavily armed troops with the riot gear, I also saw about 50 soldiers walking in. So the government is sending out a very clear message that we are not encouraging these protests here on the Galle Face Green, and they'll push them to the other side where there is a designated.
And almost like Esau would do, is say, you know, the script in Psalms, it says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but what was in his heart. So in other words, they'll find a nice way to do something, but they will have some real evil intentions, because the way they go about it may fool people. But you know, us being spiritual, we can see through. You know, we can see through what they're doing. So they got some evil intentions behind what they want to do, but they have a nice approach to it.
Protest area. This has triggered a lot of anger, and I can see the reaction on social media, people talking about why the government did, especially why Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe took over on the same night this crackdown, this raid was ordered, and there are protesters say some people were injured, and even BBC journalists, my colleagues, were attacked by some of the troops there, and one of them went to the hospital to have a checkup. So there is a lot of criticism over the way the raid was conducted overnight here in Colombo.
Ambarasan Etirajan reporting on that political crisis.
Looks like that's the end of the video anyway. But yeah, like I said, I'll leave that in the description in case anybody that comes across this video wants to go into that. But perfect precept to close out, and I think it's in 2nd Ezra, it's the 15th chapter, where it talks about weird advertisements, man. Salakia. I didn't use it till since the last lesson. I was using you know, the blue letter. I was more reading the blue letter, and let me just Google.